Right, so we have a question here, JAMB 1995, and this was question number 6, and we are asked to evaluate 81 raised to the power of 3 over 4 minus 27 raised to the power of 1 over 3 all over 3 times 2 raised to the power of 3. So as usual, I want you to pause the video, try to solve this, so later on we can compare our answers. Please try and then solve it. Okay, so I want to believe you've been able to solve it and you have your answer. So let's go ahead to do it together. Now, starting with 81, we need to break down 81 so that we can have a common power for it. And 81 is just like us saying 9 multiplied by 9. That will give us 81. And 9 here, just like saying 3 times 3 will give us 9. So that means that 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, times another 3 will give us 81. So this is just like saying 3 raised to the power of 4 with 81. So we've been able to replace the 81 with 3 raised to the power of 4. Now, since we've been able to do that, we don't need to ignore the original power. The original power that was 3 all over 4. That was the original power. Then our subtraction sign, and how about 27 here? About 27. Okay, now let's also break out 27 down. If you come here, 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times this other 3 is 27. So here we can have as 3 raised to the power of 3. Okay, 3 raised to the power of 3. We are replacing it. Replaces the 27, and then we don't also need to forget the initial power. The initial power was what? The initial power was 1 all over 3. All right, we're good with that. And then let's proceed down to solve for our denominators. Let's have it out for our denominators, and everything was all over 3. Everything was all over 3, and then it was 3 times 2. It was 3 times 2, and then the 2 was raised to the power of 3. 2 raised to the power of 3. Let's have our 3 here. Okay, so now let's work on this power. Now, since we have 4 here, and then this 4 will cancel itself one time, comes into this other 4 one time. Good. Now this 3 will cancel itself one time. Now comes into this other 3 one time. Good. All right, now writing out our answers, that will be 3. We have 3 here, right? Yes, we have 3, and then the power that will be left here is what? Is power 3. Okay, what is left there is power 3, because we will be able to cancel 4 cancel itself, 1 comes into this other 4, so we're left with power 3. All right, so let's bring down our multiplication sign, and that will be 3 raised to the power 3 times. Now let's work with this. Now here is just 3 raised to the power of 1. 3 raised to the power of 1. We can write it, or we might ignore it. Okay, now everything is going to be divided by the denominator. The denominator here is 3. Okay, it's 3 times we have times 2 raised to the power of 3, right? Yeah, times 3 raised to the power of 2. All right, that's what we 2 raised to the power of 3. Yeah, 2 raised to the power of 3. Okay, so let's proceed by breaking it down. And everything here, let's equate it. Everything equals to now 3 raised to the power of 3 will give us 27. Good. 3 raised to the power of 3 is 27, and then we can have this place was not multiplication. What we had here was subtraction, remember? So let's have our subtraction back. So what we had there, let's have our subtraction. So yeah, it's a subtraction, right? Yep. Okay, so we now have 3 raised to the power 3 is 27, so we now have the subtraction here, 27. Now we're going to subtract it from this 3. Alright, so let's have the 3 here. Now everything will be over the denominator, right? Yes. Now everything is going to be all over the denominator. Now let's solve for our denominator. And our denominator now we have here as 3. Okay, so we can still have our 3. Can still have our 3 here. We have our 3 here, and then multiplied by 2 raised to the power 3. Alright, so let's have a multiplication sign again. Of course, we know that 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8, so here becomes 8. Here becomes 8. Alright, so let's keep solving. We're almost done. Now 27 minus 3. Let's have an equal to sign as we keep solving. 27 minus 3 will give us 24. Will give us 24, right? Yes, will give us 24. And we can say 24 divided by, let's say 24 divided by the denominator. Now 3 times 8 is also what? 3 times 8 will give us 24. Will give us 24, right? Yeah, 24. And we can say, we now solve it out. 24 here cancel itself one time, and 24 comes into this other 24 one time. So 1 over 1 is the same thing as 1. So the answer is 1. Let's check our options. If you have any option that has 1. Alright, so here we are. Option A is 1. So A is the correct answer. Okay, it was very simple. What we just did was for us to break it down. 81, we know that 81 is 3. 9 times 9, 9 times 9 is the same thing as saying 9, or rather it's the same thing as saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that is meaning 3 raised to the power 4. So we substituted 81 with 3 raised to the power 4, and we maintained the power was 3 over 4. And we subtracted because we had a subtraction sign. 27 is the same thing as saying 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Okay, so we replaced 27 with 3 raised to the power of 3, maintaining the power, and everything was all over what we had initially as our denominators. Alright, now solving this out, because the power here was 3 over 4, as you can see, and 4 cancel itself 1 comes into this other 4 one time, and then this other one 3 cancel itself 1 comes into this other 3 is one time. So what we are left with here was 3, and that remained here 3 raised to the power 3 minus what we are left here is 1. 1 is it 1, so 3 raised to the power of 1 is the same thing as just having it as 3. Our denominators, we maintain it as the same. We now solve it out. 3 raised to the power of 3 gave us 27, and then minus 3 remain here. Now 3 times 2 raised to the power of 3 gave us 8. Now 24 all over 24, dividing that gave us 1. So solving this out, checking in our option A was the correct option. Alright, so that is it for this class. Hope to see you in the next class. Bye bye. Catch ya.